I think everyone knows I'm Deb King, co-founder of the Wisdom Playground. Yes, everyone knows me. Hi. so, as we love to make business have help us all create better results in a simpler, more joyful way. And sales is such an important thing for business. When I have been seeing what Steve's doing lately, I was just like, oh my gosh, we need to have Steve come and talk to you guys. I've known Steve for a long time. I don't know, for those of you who don't know, I've been a coach for 20 years. And in 2019, I was a success coach in an entrepreneur training company that had a lot of members that were entrepreneurs, all different types of businesses. And then they also had mentors. Now, Steve was one of the sales mentors who I witnessed helping so many of the members. I would keep referring them to go speak to Steve because they needed help with their sales or their positioning, and he just has a mastery in how to articulate what we do in a way that we tend to struggle ourselves. And just recently I decided, oh my gosh, really, I should have been working with Steve myself. So I'm now doing that because I'm on a mission to expand my authority and positioning as well. And so you guys are going to witness some little tweaks and shifts and upgrades in that over the coming little period. But I just really wanted to share. Not everyone here has done our Skyrocket program, but for those who have, that's very much about having you deliver at the highest level where you absolutely know you can get your clients results. And what Steve does fits really well with this in terms of that front end piece of how you're positioning, making the sales process better, and all those things. So I'm so excited for you to introduce Steve. He is absolutely amazing. Feel free to pop your details in the chat so you guys can all connect as well, because everyone on this call is freaking amazing. So happy you're here. You're going to get massive value. And over to you, Steve. Woo!
Well, that was an energetic intro. Thank you, Deb. And we have known each other for ages, and it's great to see you actually jump in to the program itself. And it's interesting, you guys are being coached by Deb. I'm now coaching Deb, but all mentors have mentors. All successful coaches have successful coaches. And
just to let you know, Steve, not everyone here has been coached by me, but they're my greater community and I love and appreciate them. So
just by hanging around you, they're being coached by you.
Okay, all right.
and that's the interesting thing. And I've got my own that I always have at least one or two mentors that are keeping me on the right path, but also helping me get to the next level. I'm going to quickly share my screen and just do a few slides as we get going, and I just need one person just to give me a thumbs up that say, yep, I can see it, it's all going. You can see, cool. Look, I always start with this and let you know that this is where I'm basically at right now, but I didn't start here. And for wherever you are in your journey, you can actually get to the next step and the next step and the next step. You've got a couple of my books there. I'm a 9 times Amazon best-selling author. I passed my high school English exam by 2/3 of a mark. I hated writing and I hated reading, but through the work and the process and great coaches, then I've been able to get my books out there and impact more people. I have been featured on a number of networks. I've even hosted my own TV show on Channel 9, exec producer for Warner Brothers. But as a kid growing up through primary and high school, I could not even read in public, but took the next steps to get the coaching and the training to be able to present in public. And that's where I've got to. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is you might look at this and you might hear my background and say, wow, now look at potentially where I've got to. But there were hard steps. And no matter where you are right now, you can actually get there and make it. It's the matter of the belief and then pulling the right people along with you to be able to help you through that actual journey. Now, the quick question here is, and I got to hit the right resume slideshow, is what would you like out of today? More quality clients, more referrals, create a bigger impact, easier sales, or all of the above? Now, time for you to do some work. Type in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or if there is a 6, other, you can actually type that in as well. and we'll see how the chat's going here. And we're looking at 2s and 3s, lots of 5s, 2s and 3s, etc., etc. Great. Now, the question was, would you like? Now, you've probably heard people in different sales pitches, etc., start off, how many people here would like more money? How many people here would like more freedom? How many people here would like more? And everybody would say yes. I'm not that interested in working with the people who would like. Now, unfortunately, we're sitting in Zoom, we're not in a room, but I would normally get you to stand up if you are committed. So committed is a bigger word than 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Type in the whole word committed. If you are committed to you, if you are committed to your business, to attract and get more quality clients, more referrals, create a bigger impact, have easier sales, or all of the above. Any one of those, you type in if you're committed. And I love it that we've got some capitals and we've got some exclamation marks. If you've typed in committed, you can stay. It's as simple as that, because I'm committed over the next hour and 50 minutes to give you the absolute best and most recent that I've got, and work with you to show you how you can implement it. So let's keep rocking on through here. Okay, big thing. What this is not a ninja sales technique. This is not how to pitch and close better deals. This is not how to overcome objections. This is not all about sales scripts or sell anything. It is to give you a framework to allow you to be more of you and impact more people, because they see the value in what you do, they understand it, and they want to work with you. I don't think I've got a slide on this, but the first thing that you have to write down, has everybody got their note-taking weapons with them? Write this down now, and I'm going to write it on the screen for you. I might have it later. Clarity equals cash. Big thing, clarity. When listening to most people that either come and tell me what they do, there is not that absolute clarity. Quite often we hear a little bit of clarity around what you do, but what I'm coming to buy as your potential client is what you deliver. And we're actually going to get into that a little bit, well, very shortly. It's one of the first things that we are going to get into. What is it that you deliver that I will see value in exchanging my cash, money, for your time, knowledge, and expertise? And that's one of the biggest things. Now, very quickly, what is your biggest fear? And if you've got a real fear that you want to share verbally with me, you just take yourself off camera, off mute. What is your biggest fear of selling? Why do most people hate selling? You can type it in, but I'm also happy to hear it, because if I can overcome that today, your life will change. And I've got some things to share with you. Fear of rejection, sounding pushy or sleazy, feeling icky. Yeah, I'm going to teach you a framework that you're going to be able to do and enjoy, and not feel as if you're going to have a shower after every sales call. Jay.
I would say to be the one on mute, is that it's how to break through the noise, which is so pervasive now in the social, and not be pushy, but still be able to do the relationship selling and get to the people I need to cut through the noise. So I don't know if that's a fear and a challenge. How to kind of break through that and still be myself.
Perfect. My goal today, buckle up, stay tuned, is to help you with that and show you a path to be able to get better at that and to be able to enjoy. Actually, write down this now, right? Because of what you said, write down sales bliss. Sales bliss is a relatively new concept that I've put together because the reason Deb's really wanting me to work with you is because now it's all about the sales energy. For the last 2 years, I've been talking about buyer's energy. Now I'm talking about your personal magnetic energy and how those actually fit together and how to create your own sales bliss. Now, sales bliss is when you both enjoy the journey. From the minute that they have that attraction piece, whether it's out on social media, in a networking event, that first connection to enjoy the journey, creating the relationship to get on that call that you're going to have with that person and even enjoy the call. But more importantly, when you both get excited about the sale, which means the result. And just type in SB. I just realized SB is for my name too, Sales Bliss. Anyhow, type in SB if Sales Bliss is something that you would like to work towards and know how to do today. SB sounds amazing. I'm getting very egotistical here with everybody typing in my initials, but because maybe this will help you. Here's my definition of selling. And if you want to adopt it, I think I got it from somebody else as well. Sales bliss. Sales bliss is when you actually look forward to having sales calls, professionally servicing other people's needs for a mutually beneficial gain. And again, if anybody here does not believe that they professionally service other people's needs, then there's the door. You can walk out now. If you believe that you're good at what you do, if you believe that you can make a difference, and somebody contacts you, whether it's clicking on a link on social media or picking up the phone, walking through the door, unless you do the caveman advertising approach where they wear their bare skin and they walk out with a big club, hit them over the head and drag them into the store, unless you do that, if somebody's connected somehow with you, it is your right, duty, and obligation to do the best job possible for them to understand the value that they will get from working with you and to make the sale. Okay? Turn it around. It's not about you taking their money. It's about you delivering a professional service that will make an impact. And the mutually beneficial gain is they will get what they're paying for and you get paid for it. Okay. Okay. We've got Vanessa here. Great. And there's so many other people rejected. If you believe what you do is worthwhile and valuable, it's not your fault that you feel that way. It's the crappy BS sales training that you've been given. And that sales training is all about present and pitch and throw everything at them and then try and close, and then they'll walk out. I'm going to share with you today a framework where you will collaborate with them so that they will see the absolute value in what it is that you do and want to work with you. And that's a huge, huge thing to do. Okay, so here's my no. Thank you. Somebody here saying, Talia, SB is not BS. And you're going to hear a little bit more about this. So why the hell is this different? I'm going to tell you, I was scared of sales. I opened up my own health club in '83, and I actually had to sell memberships, my club. And I got sales trainers in. And even back then, the first trainers that I ever had, even though it worked and we got people to join, I felt icky and I felt pushy. But it seemed to be that that's the way that everybody did it. But I wanted to create another way. So what I've done predominantly over the last 10 years is been working with people, and I've been hiding behind teaching authority marketing. And for 7 years, all of my people have said, Steve, this is the best sales training ever. And I said to them, don't you dare call me a sales trainer, because I didn't want to be one of those sales trainers, but it was very effective. And only the last 2 and a bit years, I've virtually come out of the closet as somebody who teaches effective sales frameworks. And since then, I've been able to impact and help a lot more people, because I've acknowledged that this is not what the other people are doing. And it makes you people feel so much better and be able to impact more. The reason this works, it is scientifically proven. I'm going to share with you in a minute. I've been geeking out on neuroscience for the last 4 years. And understanding how people buy, not how to sell better, but understanding how people buy. I'm going to share you a bit of that in a sec. It is practically proven. This works and has been working for 40 years since I've been in business. I'm actually teaching you what I do on a daily basis. How many of you have actually gone to do some training with somebody who you could tell learned and did a course, and they're basically regurgitating that and trying to sell that? This is stuff that works, is proven. And then I say, well, how can I help other people do exactly the same? The great thing about this, it's simple and it's implementable. And the better thing is, when you put it together, you and your prospects will both enjoy the journey, not that push hard sell. So that's why it's different. Here's the geeking out I've been doing. The company that I'm working with do the absolute latest in testing. They connect everybody up to the EEGs, the ECGs, the eye trackers, the GSRs. If you know what all of those are, and I'm sad to say that I actually do, it's testing everything on how people understand, learn, and take action. Here's just some of the reports and training that I've done with these people, and 29 other more reports and webinars. But the big thing is, it's all on how people understand and buy. It's not how to be a better salesperson. It's on how people understand and will come to you to buy. Now, type in a B, same letters again, a B or an S. Do you want to understand and have more people come to you and ask to buy? Or do you want to become a hotshot salesperson? B. Yeah, I would rather have that too. It's a much better place to be when somebody says, wow, this is fantastic. How do we get started? The goal is to share with you how you can make that happen on a very, very consistent basis. Real quick. So why listen to me? As I said, I set up a health club right back in 1983. I guess some of you weren't even born then, but anyhow, it's quite good that I opened it up while I was 3 years old. But anyhow, in the first year, I had a philosophy of just basically wanting to help everybody. We had kids programs, seniors programs, weight loss programs, deconditioned, rehab, all of those sorts of things. But our kids program was very popular. We took it out to the schools in the local area, and then we actually licensed it into 5 different countries. Again, we were getting our butt kicked. The weight loss industry came to town. Here's a real pick up your pen marketing lesson. We were selling good exercise. We were selling good nutrition. We sold everything that worked. And we were trying to sell our memberships for hundreds of dollars, a few $100s. But the weight loss industry, the Jenny Craigs, the Gloria Marshalls, and even back then, the trimming and toning routines, the tables, they were selling theirs for thousands of dollars. I was like, well, what's going wrong? When I went and looked at it, we were doing it wrong. We weren't packaging the aspirations. We were selling the perspirations. We were selling what we did. In a lesson for you, are you selling what you do, or are you selling what you do for people, the outcomes that they get? Went back and repackaged the whole thing. So it was called Shed and Shape Budget Weight Loss. And as you can see, we licensed it into 2 countries. The low impact aerobics, we turned into trimming and toning routines. We just relanguaged it. We doubled the gym membership, and we sold out, and we sold out, and we sold out. Interestingly enough, people who couldn't afford a gym membership were finding the money easily to pay double for a weight loss program. So have a look at what you're selling, what you're delivering, and how you're communicating it. Is it that you are charging too much, or is it that the communication is not delivering, this is of great value, I have to do it? When indoor smoking came out, I invented one of these little things here, a portable personal ashtray, actually with a bum on it. And talk about entering a competitive market, there was 13 personal ashtrays already on the market. But what we didn't do was sell personal ashtrays. We put together cigarette butt litter reduction campaigns, programs. We sold the programs, not the pieces. Within a very short period of time, my business partner and I were authorities on what we had written. We were the only ones at that point of time that were putting together cigarette butt litter reduction campaigns. We became global leaders on that, won international environmental awards. I wasn't the world's best environmentalist, and my business partner was a change management specialist. So we weren't the big experts in the environmental world, but we actually became the experts in cigarette butt litter reduction. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you, within a short period of time, I was an international leader on how gyms could make money from kids programs. Again, how gyms could make money from packaging and selling weight loss. How to reduce cigarette butt litter. We sold 4 million into 26 countries, and not by selling the personal ashtrays. The other reason I'm sharing this with you is I was not the expert, but became the authority on the unique bit of that industry, of that area that I was known for. Here's something you might want to note down. An expert knows something. An authority is known for something. So, proven. I didn't have to be the expert, but by packaging it and communicating it in a way that showed value for other people, I and my partners became authorities and created significant businesses out of that. What is it that you are an authority on? And when you create, I'm going to share with you how you can create things. What is it that you're an authority on? What have you created? Now, actually, Deb doesn't know I'm going to do this, but to share with you how I've most recently put this into practice and how you can as well. January 2021, while Aussie businesses were in their summer hibernation, and I decided that I wanted to move my business to North America via my Zoom chair. So I said, okay. And with one introduction into one group, I saw what the need was. And basically there were so many people, because of COVID, struggling to sell over Zoom. And with the background of video, TV, and selling, I wrote my authority piece, The Art and Science of Virtual Selling, which is what I was taking to all of the networking events, etc. So with one introduction into one group, which just happened to be by Deb, into Top Talent JV, January 2021, I started meeting people. Now, the interesting thing was that that was at 2 a.m., 3 mornings in a row. And a lot of people would say, Steve, how do you do what you do? How did you get to meet all of these people? Well, probably because I was prepared to do things that other people wouldn't do. I said, well, I got up at 2 a.m. and I was on there from 2 till 8 and then went and did some more work. And so I couldn't do that. Well, then you can't get the results that other people will get because they do what you don't do. So what happened with that one introduction, and again, thank you, Deb, because that was the catalyst to meet more people and more people and more people. I transferred 80% of my business is now in North America. November 21, I did the calculation. It was a 6-figure business in America. Now, no ads, during COVID in a foreign country, and just from networking, being invited into networking, doing collaborations like we're doing now, and getting on podcasts. How many would like to know the system behind that? Put in system, because I've actually created the 6-figure networking system. Cool. Because from what I see, a lot of people going to networking events. There are so many things that could be done better. Absolutely so many things. And one of the things that we talk about is the energy. And we're going to get into that a lot. Today is going to be about increasing buyers' energy, increasing your energy, how you can actually get into those breakout rooms and people will say, I've got to work with that person. And it makes a massive, massive difference. Okay, let's keep rocking along. Another learning here. One of the podcasts that I was invited to speak on, I was introduced by one of the people that was at one of the networking events, said, Steve, you got to get on this podcast. And they've introduced me, got on to do the pre-interview interview. And they started off by saying, look, Steve, just to let you know, we're running about 3 months in advance if we think that we want you on the podcast. And I thought, well, that's a great start. And then they said, that's exactly what you do. And I went into the stupid cookie cutter mode. I help people that do this, 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 and this, just the typical cookie cutter. And he said, oh, you're just a sales trainer. I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't good. But then when we started talking, and you'll hear this throughout, and you have to do this, you have to create what I call your own isms. Write in on your notes, ISMS, isms, your own, and I create my own Steve-isms. So I started talking about the brown box syndrome, and I started talking about the emotive sales pendulum, I started talking about this and this, and each of those were unique, my own unique language. And every time I started talking about one of those, they leant in that little bit closer and that little bit closer. And it got to the point of, so do you have time in the next 2 weeks? Now, it wasn't because I was the hotshot salesperson or the hotshot sales trainer. It wasn't because I was the leading anything, but there was some unique language around what it is that I did that created the intrigue to want to know more. And that's something that we're going to be talking about a lot. What is it that you do different, and how could you position and package yourself differently? My goal for you is to start thinking differently, to change something today that you will walk away will change things for life. And one of my he's now a business partner, started off as a colleague, a collaborator, a client, now a partner. He said, when you work with Steve, you don't just get the hour of the week or the month, you get changes for life. And my mentor that I pay for last week virtually said the same thing. He said, I used to walk into a forest and all I would see was exactly the same trees. They're all just trees, but I walked in with an environmentalist and they would point out this and they would point out that, and they would point out this animal that I would never had seen before. I could see all of these different things. He said, now when I walk into a forest, I never see it the same again. My goal today is to take you out of the bland forest and take you into the vibrant rainforest, so that when you look at yourself, when you look at your clients, when you look at your sales process, you will never look at it the same way ever again. This is not a 2-hour session. Ideally, you'll take stuff from this that will impact you for life. At the end, there will be an opportunity that there are programs, the one that Deb's already started, that I'll be able to work with you and help you implement very quickly what we're talking about today. And it's not just a course or a program. The changes that we'll make in that will make the changes for life. And that's the goal that we're looking to do in every interaction of what we're doing. So here's the framework of what we're going to be talking about today. There's 3 main parts to today. Be the prize, build the buying energy and personal energy, and the blueprint conversion system. Okay. So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at your positioning and packaging. And as I said, this next bit of training we're going to get through, we're going to stop for a quick break and see how we can implement that with each of you. Here's where, and you'll see, here's where quite often the big money, the big impact is that doesn't cost any money at all. It's how to position you as the leader, how to position what it is that you've got, and how to package it in a way that people say, oh my God, I've got to have that. And that's the huge thing that we're going to be working towards. Be the prize. Okay. If we had time, I'd get you all to introduce yourself to somebody here. But if you introduce yourself when you go to a networking event or even just something like this, do you say, hi, my name is, and I am a, I think we had earlier, I'm an intuitive coach, I'm a something, I'm a something. So the interesting thing is when you're an A, you're basically a brown box. If you call yourself by your title, your occupation, or your category, it might be a small category, but you're sitting on the shelf with all the other brown boxes in that category. It's not until people unwrap what it is that you do, unwrap the box, that they see that there might be gold inside. But if you're sitting on the shelf, now, one of the questions we had earlier is, how do I get out in front of more people? Be different, be more attractive, and be more attractive to the people who you want to talk to. That means you need to be the prize to attract those. If you want to write this thing down to jog your memory, be the prize, not the pursuer. So if you're the prize, you're out there and you are the prize and you are attracting the people to work with you. If you're the pursuer, you'll keep changing and say, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. And been there, done that. It's not a good place to be. But when you can position, package, and communicate in a clear and unique way that people understand exactly what you do, then it will make a big difference. And it's an evolution. I tell you, I've had to turn something around myself in just the last couple of weeks, because what I'm doing here is helping you with this. Authority, positioning, marketing, more sales, faster sales, easier, less stress, all of those sorts of things. But very shortly, I've got to work with a group of people that are funnel people, that are clients of somebody who has a funnel program. You know, the funnel, you put people in and they flow through and all those. I'm not a hugely techie person. So what I'm saying to you guys may not resonate with them. And I'm not that guy for them. So I've looked at how I can best serve those people. And that is speaking in their language. If you, Marketing 101 basically says, enter the conversation that's going on in that person's mind. What, you know, the cliche is, what's keeping them up at night? What are they worried about? What are their hopes, their dreams, their goals? Speak their language. Yes, you can help them. But the other thing is, enter that conversation, but most importantly, speak their language. Now, for me to talk to the funnel people about what I do, they may just say, oh, you're that person over there. So it's like, how do I best serve those people? And the way that we're going to talk about it in a minute is actually to increase the energy flow through the funnel, which will increase the people flow and the excitement through the funnel. So we went back and looked at it and say, okay, funnel, flow, magic. I got a program now. It's almost identical to what it is, but it's repackaged and communicated specifically to the people. Again, how do we get better visibility? How do we get better connection? Is package your outcomes so they're desirable to those people. So if you're a brown box, you want to stand out. You want people to know that you are true value sitting on the shelf. If you're an A, I am a coach, a trainer, a consultant, a something, then you are the brown box. You need to become the. So with these funnel people, this is just the most recent example. I'm not a sales coach. I'm not a this. I am the creator of Funnel Flow Magic. So I'm a the. There is only one of those these. what is it that you can move from an A to a D? When you move from an A to a D, you move from small income to larger income. Your bank balance changes. The people you impact and the way you impact them changes. Now, here's some case studies on some people that have done that. And just to share with you these ways on how they've done it, you may say, I can do that too. There's this lady, we worked with her some time ago. And to tell you the truth, she was giving away her programs because she wasn't confident in selling them. She just didn't know how to communicate them. But she invested in a higher level mastermind group boot camp, and she paid $3,000 to come along, even though she wasn't earning money. She was a young Muslim girl wanting to coach women of her faith to better assimilate in the community. So as we're going through the program, we looked at her positioning, and she was calling herself a life coach, and her packaging. We looked at building the blueprint, which you'll see how that works later on. And as she was building that, she said, Steve, this is so empowering. I don't ever have to sell me anymore. When I have a blueprint that's visual and I can show my people how my program will make a difference, then she said, it's just amazing. Then we got to the sales part. She said, Steve, I feel so empowered. I'm not selling to people now. I'm just working with them, showing the results that we're going to get. This was in a different state to where I was. I was flying home from that day's boot camp. By the time I got home, it was really cool. I had 2 messages from her. She sold 2 full price programs. And they were actually $1,500 each. So she basically paid for her fees in one go. But now her positioning as the creator of that program, the creator of that system and helping, she's speaking all over Australia, empowering women of her faith and making a difference in the lives of hundreds of women, not just the one. So going from struggling and giving away her life coaching program to creating a blueprint, a system and positioning, not only did she change her life and her business, but she now is traveling across, impacting the lives of many more. Just write in impact. This is worthwhile typing in the whole name. Write in impact if you would like to have that sort of a change and transition from, struggling to get the 1s and 2s to be able to be seen as a leader and authority and somebody who's giving so much more impact. Pact. I've got some wonderful abbreviations in there and very creative. So that's pretty cool. And most importantly, this was one of the early ones. And I realized then the power, not just in business, but the power of the blueprint and how to use it because of Sapphira. Okay. Now, here's one that I selected for you in a very, very competitive industry. And we're also combining the positioning and the packaging and increasing the buying energy all in one here, how it all fits together. He is a financial planner. Now, is that a brown box? Is that a brown box? A financial planner. I mean, there's not many of those around. No matter what country you're in, there's a bloody lot of them. So we turned him around and looked at what he did. And he looked at 3 different parts of somebody's finances. And we turned it into the 3-dimensional wealth, accelerated wealth creation. So he became the creator of something, even within a franchise. So that was constrained. He did this totally within a franchise. So when he was on trade shows, standing beside other people that were financial planners from Yellow Brick Road, he would get 4 to 1 the number of leads and appointments. So instead of saying, hey, I'm a financial planner, would you like financial planning? As somebody in your mind, you might say, hey, I'm a XYZ, would you like XYZ? He said, I'm a little different to most. I work with you to be able to have a look at your financial plan to make sure you've got enough money to retire comfortably. Look at your mortgage to make sure you're not paying too much, and have a look at your tax and your structure to make sure you're not paying too much. When would you like to book in for your 3D financial review? Makes a difference. The other thing was he was getting company generated postcode or zip code, depending on which country you're in, leads. That's pretty damn cold. And I'm going to share with you a little bit more about increasing the buying energy. When that cold lead came in, they received a video straight back. One video, most people basically saying, hey, it's Clyde here from Yellow Brick Road, St. Mary's. I just saw your inquiry come through. One of my fantastic teams going to be in touch, organise a convenient time for you to come through. We're going to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, et cetera, so we can deliver this, this, and this. I really look forward to seeing you and helping you create a fantastic future. Bang. Now, the results of that were absolutely phenomenal. Here are the results. 84% cold leads from the company booked and showed up. He boosted the buying energy along the way, started that relationship even before they got there. He doubled his fees, doubled the normal fees. He doubled his conversion rate and doubled referrals. That was massive. That smashed his business to be the leading one in the whole country, in not a terribly affluent area. The way that he worked with them using the blueprint, he collaborated. He's now finished his time with that franchise and has started his own. He's now licensing the program that we built for him under the brand Your Local Money Mentor. Now, was that a significant shift from being the brown box to really exploding out of the box and putting pretty well the system into place? Positioning, packaging, and the buying energy. Amazing results from this guy. One more, and I picked Ashy because she's in the health, fitness, wellness, lifestyle industry, and in probably one of the biggest brown boxes ever, a personal trainer. And yeah, give me a, just look, I can see some of your screens. Give me a thumbs up if you think personal training is in a brown box. Has anybody here actually got competition in their marketplace? Is it in a fairly competitive market? Just type in C if there are others out there doing similar to what you do. And this is also a testament to some of the live training that we do and the workshopping and helping people uniquely build in the training that we have, because it is a lot of group mentoring. Cool. So her hubby came down to one of our live boot camps, and he mentioned what she was doing. We sat down and mapped out a plan and said, this is what she could do. Within several years, she actually had built the brand. And I don't know whether some of you local would know the name or the brand Ashy Binds. Something like 3 million followers. She's in 57 countries. This here, as you see on the screen, is one of a 16-city tour after she built the business. Now, most personal trainers run boot camps in a park, which is where she started before we got to her, of about 20 people. There's several thousand there, and she did that in 16 cities, all from created some unique positioning, what she did, how she packaged it, and committed to building that community. So they're just a couple of examples of how you can uniquely change your positioning and make a massive difference. This last one here I've picked because she was potentially one of the trickiest. She called herself a spiritual healer. Now, most people, if you go out to the public and say, I'm a spiritual healer, you really don't know what you're getting. You don't know the outcomes. And she says, Stephen, I'm just working one-on-one with people and I help them. That's as good as she got. And I said, what is your system? What is your process? She said, I don't have one. I do it intuitively. And I think, so we went through, I've got a process to uncover what it is. She went through what it was. I said, you help people with money blockages. And she said, well, yeah, well, primarily that's what I do. So we went from a spiritual healer to wealth and abundance breakthrough specialist. That adds clarity to the outcome. Can you see that? Going from a spiritual healer to the wealth and abundance breakthrough specialist. So I think, okay, I need to go to you if I have this problem, and attracted more people. Then we looked at the way she worked, and she basically said, well, what I do is I clear, and sooner or later they receive. She said, but I want to work with them to get them ready. I said, so you want to prepare? So you've got the CPR of wealth creation. So if you're having trouble with your money manifestations, etc., I've got the wealth creation CPR program. Yeah. So we turned that around. Just that positioning, packaging, and no extra advertising or anything like that. We actually doubled her income, and she's working 30% less hours in the second month of clarity, positioning, and packaging. And seeing the value in that. We're going to open up for some comments in just a second. Write this down. If you're worried about being good enough, if you're already helping people, you're good enough. You don't have to be the best in the world. You just have to be in the world. You just have to be the best in their world. Are you the person that really helps your people and do it well? Then that's what you are fine. Be the best and communicate it in their world. So ideally, even at this early stage, we're taking the pressure off you having to be the hotshot salesperson. Yes or no? Just type in Y or N. Did any of those who smash their results have to become a better salesperson to deliver those results? Or was their positioning and their packaging and the communication? No. Okay. So what you need to have confidence in now, as you're going through this, it's the system, not you. In fact, here's the thing that I'm going to get you to do. Take yourself off mute and just point at the screen, point at that screen. And I want you to say, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. Because they were not special. 1, 2, 3. Ready? If they can do it.
If they can do it, I can do it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. They can do it. I can do it.
Fantastic. Because one of the biggest things is belief in yourself. I'm sharing with you people that were not that well, they were great people. They were special in their own way, but they weren't hotshot salespeople. They weren't hotshot business people. They just implemented a system that worked and did it wholeheartedly. And if they can do it, you can do it. I'm going to get into quickly packaging now. I'm going to just do a little bit of workshopping. We're pretty well right on time. So far, we've done positioning. We've done some packaging. We're looking at building the buying energy. And this is where it's so exciting because you guys will get this. I'm going to share with you. When I work with people, and I don't do this normally, when I work with people, I'm working with them, they're talking, and I see things. I don't go out to the public and say, I'm an intuitive marketer, but that's generally what happens. I do a lot of homework, I do a lot of this, but quite often, if I'm working with people, they'll probably think I'm rude. I say, shut up, I've got it. And I'll just see the result. I'll see their blueprint. I'll see where they need to get to. Now, I see things that other people don't. I guess I'm blessed that way and want to empower you. The other thing is, over the last couple of years, sales is an exchange of value, but also sales is an exchange of energy. And that's the big thing. Okay. So how do we get people to come to you with the energy? First and foremost, you have to have, we're not going to go into it too much today, your own personal magnetic energy. Here is the typical sales journey. And quite often there's a brown box. If you're A, If you're a coach, a this, you're the brown box, and the energy of somebody coming to you to talk to you is not that high because there are other brown boxes, there are other choices. Yes? Yeah. And quite often your sales trainer will tell you to qualify, are they the right person to sell to? So the buying energy is fairly low. As we're going through and I'm getting up to the next bit, type in, if you have a call with somebody, what is that call called? Do you have your discovery call, your strategy call, your no obligation business health check, your whatever? Just type in the range of different calls that you actually have as I'm going through this next bit. So if you are that unique authority, if you are then the buying energy goes up because you're different to other people. The next thing is to cultivate. A lot of people will say, create a funnel and just send out lots of information. Now, that information is generally about you. So they will get educated, not excited. Okay, big difference. They don't need to be educated. They need to be excited about working with you, not knowing about you. So when you cultivate, the best thing is to create that relationship. And videos. And I get to know that person. I get to feel that person. Anybody that goes through connecting with me on LinkedIn or on Facebook or a referral or in a networking group, they will get probably one of my back pocket guides that's got some videos in there and a video from me. Hey, great to meet you here. Here's a little bit about me. Can't wait to find out about you, etc. It's a two-way video for them to get to know me. Now, what happens is one of two things. They think I'm an absolute idiot and go. By the way, that's fine. I don't get to talk to lukewarm people, or they think this person's got value. Now, here's the high value outcome call bit. If you call your call a discovery call, a strategy call, consultation call, then you are reducing buying energy 37%. And that is because every man and his dog calls them that. And they know it's a sales call. The goal is to have a perceived high value outcome call. Okay. What is the high value outcome that I'm going to get excited about having the call with you? And generally, particularly with the different levels, there will be a pre-call video. It could be a unique one, and it would be, what have we got here? Well, I've got Janet in front of me. Hey, Janet, saw you book in for our call. Can't wait to have a chat with you. By the way, I've had a quick look at your website. I've had a quick look at your LinkedIn profile. I have some really cool things that I want to share with you that I know that's going to make a difference. I look forward to our call. Love and kisses, Steve. I leave the love and kisses out. But it's a choreographed building of the energy. So they feel as if they've got a relationship and they are running towards the call. And that's the first part of it, is how do I increase the buying energy? And how can you increase the buying energy? By giving a piece of you along the way, not just educate. It's write this down. You're there to excite, not educate. You're there to inspire, not to inform. When you've got that right, the energy goes through the roof. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. And for those who get to work with me after this, we will be looking at how do we increase your own personal energy? How can people see that you are that person? You've got the confidence in who you are and you believe. Even though we wrote down clarity equals cash, the step before that is clarity equals confidence. And a lot of you are not confident because the clarity is not there. When you get clarity, your confidence goes up. When you know who you are, what you do, and who you help and serve, you can be out there with much greater confidence and belief. And that is the energy. When you've got the personal energy and the buying energy right, it's like two magnets that just get to that point and go bang. Oh, by the way, have you ever had a conversation? Have you ever been in a sales conversation, discussion, presentation, and you feel it's going really well. And then because of the way that you've been taught sales, you get to that point and say, oh my God, I've got to sell now. I've got to sell now. Oops. And your energy starts dropping and swapping. You're turning the magnets around. When you've actually tried to force the two magnets together facing the wrong way, you just can't get them together because your energy starts dropping, their energy starts dropping, and it's not going to happen. When you do the other way around and flip it, have your personal and buying energy, and you've got that sales bliss, they get to this point and it snaps together even before you get to that sales bit. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through this. Because I want to ask you, what are you really selling? Just type in, what is it that you're really selling? Or if you can say it in 20 seconds or less, come off mute and just share with me what you're selling. Because this next bit, pay absolute attention to, because it will reframe your thoughts on sales. Their dream life, solutions, possibility and hope. Good, somebody's coming off. Who we got? Loving life, personalized support. Okay, so what we've got there now, and we've got a lot of really good things, some thoughts. As me, the person that's on the other side wanting to buy from you, I will be thinking, how do I take that to the bank? Now, there's two banks, and many of you will be depositing in one bank and less in the other. It doesn't matter which one. There's the financial bank and there's the emotive bank. I've got to see value in what it is that I'm going to get from you and communicate it in a way that I'm going to give you something for it. So what we need to look at is being able to condense and repackage what it is that you're actually selling in a way that, and so each of you that have got there, write down these next words, probably the most two powerful words in communication and sales. So that. Most of you have written a statement. You next need to look at the so that. Resolve for negative mental health and physical wellness so that. They're buying the so that. That's what they're buying. Okay, I'm selling love. Okay, how? What is it? What's the package? What's the so that? So when you go back and what are you really selling? What is the so that you can? What is the outcome behind the outcome? Because that is what they're really buying, and that's what they're really communicating. So here's the value ladder. And a lot of people will be selling the box. You'll be selling X number of hours of coaching, X number of hours of this and X number of hours of that, and some outcomes here and there. You're selling the box value. And when you're doing that, somebody comes in, and I'll just start from zero. They're starting down here, and you've got to push them up to understanding what the box value that. Okay, we've got Talia. So that work becomes more fun and easier. And if I was working with you, and we will actually be doing this in the group program, and we actually get to point as I would then say, okay, so that work becomes more fun and easier. So that, and probably 2 or 3 times we get to the real nitty gritty and you say, oh my God, that's gold. That's really what I do. So we've got the box value, and a lot of sales trainers will say, just add more stuff to the box. Just add more to what you do. Add some more videos, add some more training, add some more communications. So you got the box value, and you're still pushing the people up to the box. That's the icky bit. That's the bit that you're hating, because you're feeling as if you're pushing them up. And that's where the pushy comes from. Okay, that's the selling bit. Now, In the next bit, I'm going to go with you and share with you the agreed implementable value and how you can collaborate in a way where they will see the extreme emotive and financial value of working with you. When you can get that person and you've collaborated with them to quantify the agreed implementable value, you're coming down. Now, whether it's financial or whether it's emotive, you can still come down to the actual box value that you're selling. And here, you're coming from a place of serving. This next bit is how you can flip the whole sales paradigm around. It's where your mindset will shift from pushy selling to serving. Okay. Type in a P if you want to stay pushy and type in an S if you want to serve. Good. I was looking for any P's and show you the door. Cool. And that's where this next bit is really going to make an absolute difference. You will be selling the agreed implementable value, not the box. Here's how some of this works. And again, the value of coming along and being a part of the group mentoring, because this guy was in his second week with us. He said, Steve, I do not sell. I'm a dentist. Well, fair enough. But the thing was, we looked at what he actually did, who he was serving, and how he was missing out serving more people. Most of his people were in a certain age group. They previously had a certain type of filling. It broke after so many years. They were always going to have broken teeth. So we created the Teeth for Life program. So instead of selling and doing broken teeth, he changed the packaging very simply to the Teeth for Life program and trademarked it. He became the creator. So position, package, followed the system. What he did in his first one, somebody came in with a $1,500 broken tooth. He looked at it and said, look, we can do the 3D review of what you've got in your mouth, but just quickly, it looks as you've got another 5 teeth. That's going to break, they're going to be doing this, and it's going to cause all these other problems. Should we do your Teeth for Life program? Would you like to eat steak to the day you die, or is it okay that you wake up with your teeth on your bedhead? And there was a few little things in there. He went from selling a $1,500 program to a $40,000 Teeth for Life program paid fortnightly. He now has annually $1 million of billed income annualized before he even opens the door. Now, did he get that because he did better, slick advertising? Did he get that because he became a better salesperson? Or was it he just positioned, packaging, and spoke to his people, his community, his family, the people that came in and trusted him? He provided a unique service. Cool? Yeah, from somebody who said, I'm a dentist, I don't want to sell, to adding an extra 7 figures. And Ashley Bynes was the first 7-figure business we created in our hot seats. Gautham was the 4th. I'm not saying that if you turn up, we're going to help you create a 7-figure business, but I tell you that when we pull back the onion rings and help you reposition and repackage, it does make a massive difference. So, did each of these people become hotshot salespeople? I mean, we can just sit here and say, if they can do it, I can do it. If you've got some value that you deliver and it's not quite hitting the mark, then it's the system. It's not the salesperson. You don't have to be a hotshot salesperson. I'm going to leave the screen up because I don't dare trust myself to stop sharing screen and then do it all again. But if we can have 1 or 2 of your biggest takeaways so far, you can type them in, please type them in if you don't want to jump on screen. But if you want to come off screen and share, that would be great. what are your biggest takeaways so far? We've done the positioning, packaging, and buying energy before we get into the exciting blueprint. Clarity equals cash. We've got some voices out there. Deb, you said we had plenty of voices.
Vanessa's got a hand up. She's ready to go.
Oh, good. Yeah. You don't be too polite. Just jump in and start talking, please, Vanessa.
This is incredible. I don't know. There's so much information and I'm trying to absorb it all, but I really think that the concept of you're just re-looking at it, you're really just sort of looking at it from a totally different angle. It's just, I don't know. I had words and now they're not working.
Yeah. Look, and that's fine. And look, is it okay that I throw a lot at you and give you a lot and potential risk overwhelm, but pull it all together because it is just the system. That blueprint there, it's all there. Most of the people I get to work with in all levels have a lot of the good pieces of the jigsaw sitting on the table. Unfortunately, they'll stay sitting on the table fragmented and not being pulled together. The goal of working in the next step is pulling it all together and getting the results that these other people got as well. And that's the big thing, is giving them the voice and pulling it together. So if I was to be one of those slick, jerky, wanky salespeople, I'd have finished my content half an hour ago. So is it okay that I keep giving you some more? The next bit is the best bit. But
yes, please. We'll watch the recording. It'll be fine.
It relies on you getting the first 3 bits right. And the next bit, we pull it all together and show you how you can serve and collaborate more than present and pitch. We've got Diana with her hand up. Hit me.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm not
Totally.
sure if you can hear me.
Absolutely.
Yes, okay. So I absolutely love that I'm not selling my coaching, I'm selling their solution. And I love that what I'm really selling is the so the what that they get. I love it. That's clear.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and that's the thing. I pulled this apart and put it back together specifically for you guys. And again, I pulled it back and put it apart so that I can actually interact with you and get some of this feedback that we're on the right track. We've got your positioning, your packaging, your so that. Now the next bit is the gold of the framework of how to have the conversations to work towards that sales bliss. That's what we're after. You to attract the right people, build the energy, and have that sales bliss and that conversation. So let's rock on through, and I will continue on we go here. So as you can see, it's all in the system. I'm not teaching anything that's not on this page. It's all here, okay? There's lots of bits floating around, but it all does come together. Have you noticed that I'm actually drawing a little bit on the screen? I've been doing it since you've been able to draw on screens, but interestingly enough, one of the studies and the research that Decision Labs did was that when you annotate, attention goes up 60%. Now, I know that 84% of people that are on a Zoom call are multitasking, okay, doing something. But when you draw and you annotate, your eyes go where the movement. It's like the limbic brain. Oh, is that going to kill me or am I going to eat it? That's it. So when you're creating movement, you're driving people across. Attention goes up 60%, retention goes up 60%, and action goes up 3 times. Pure science. Generally speaking, when I'm working with people and I'm writing on the screen, when I get back and look at it, it's like, what the hell did I write there? But I'm trying hard to be neat enough that you can actually get it. So as we've built all of this, we're heading to the sales part. Now, the selling, the actual sales part of the conversation is like the last 10 meters of a 100-meter race. Unfortunately, all of those, and I'm going to call a spade, jerky, wanky sales trainers will focus on the last 10 meters. Usain Bolt, the greatest ever sprinter, never won a race when he was 10 meters behind with 10 meters to go. He was good, but he was not that good. You will never win a sale by implementing the pushy sales tactics if you haven't done this right. You've got people with high energy. They understand who you are, what you do. You've got the energy flowing towards you. And then you have this next conversation with them. It's like, oh my God, this feels great. So here we go. Can you see that I've actually used a blueprint several times through the presentation? Yeah, you are seeing it. You absorb images 600 times faster than words. So if you don't have one of these in your business right now, you're one of them. You're going to be competing as one of them. Your blueprint that is well constructed, which is not a schematic of what you do, when your client conversion blueprint is built as a collaborative tool, not an informative tool, you get sales bliss. I've seen people that have done one of these seminars, gone and built a blueprint that's just like, hey, sit down, shut up, this is what I do type of thing. It doesn't work. When you build it to collaborate on, and there's an art to that, and we go through that in the training, there's an art to that. When you do that, you can create your sales bliss. And here's how it all works. So that's one of mine. And this is why your blueprint is a sales weapon. If all you did was created a blueprint, system, roadmap, whatever you want to call it, you become a unique authority as the creator of that. Worst case scenario, becomes that. You're the creator of that. Why it's a weapon? Others don't have one. Did a seminar in Tas last week, working with a building company, a real estate agent, and 2 health clubs to build their blueprints. And say, because then they could say something. I'm panicking very quickly because that was it. The battery was about to run flat and I left my charger in Tassie. It only arrived back yesterday. So a real estate agent say, hey, we're a little different to most agents. We don't just go in with a catalog and we can do advertising. We have a specific blueprint and a system to get you the best sale, to get you this and get you this. Here is our system for delivering your results. I've worked with 2 that have put those systems in place, and their business has gone through the roof because they're not walking in the same as everybody else. So when you get to talk to somebody and say, hey, listen, doesn't matter, I'm not being derogatory, doesn't matter how woo-woo left or right of field you are. You can have, here is my system, here's the way that I work to be able to deliver you the results that you want, emotive, financial, or other. When they see that, your business absolutely just goes through the roof. It enhances the real collaboration I'm going to share with you. It breaks down the me-you sales barrier because of the collaboration factor. It virtually eliminates objections. Type in a big O, capital O, if you hate objections and you would love to get rid of them. Because science has shown that people hate objections more than they hate asking for the sale. There's an O, there's ooh. Okay, Diana, I get the point. I hate objections. I'm going to share with you how you can get rid of them in a really nice sales bliss way before they even pop up. It uses more of the senses and it takes the pressure off the sales script. And you do not have to be a hotshot salesperson once you've got this instead of just speaking and telling. So here's how a blueprint looks after a sales conversation. This is an exact blueprint with the exact writing on that did a X $1,000 sale in coaching. Very quickly, you will be taught how to ask the questions, how to get the person into the conversation, and then work with them. Oh, quickly, you can take yourself off mute if you've really got a fantastic answer. What is the best way to get somebody on the same page as you? Either type it in or blurt it out. What's the best way to get somebody on the same page as you?
Recognize their challenge.
Beautiful. Love it. Next. Type it. Taking a bit to type. Okay. A lot of people will say, ask good questions, connect with their pain. Thanks, Nusha. All absolutely fantastic. In the sake of time, I'm not ignoring you. Connect with them through their pain. Yep. Right, you write this down. You probably won't forget it. The best way to get somebody on the same page as you is to have a page to get on. When you have one of these, whether it's screen to screen or side by side, you have walked around the table, you have sat beside them, you've put your arm around them, basically saying, let's work together to create a solution. Make sense? Type S. Does that make sense? When you've got something to collaborate on, you are walking around the other side of the table. Remember one of those points, it takes the me, you sales out of it and brings the let's work together to create a solution. So with this person, it was very simple. This very simple blueprint has made me several $100,000 just by using this and collaborating. It was very complicated at a time. It was less complicated. I've gone back to, I change my blueprints every 6 months on how things are going. So we work with this person. We ask the questions about being positioned as an authority, breaking out of the brown box, talked about a couple of different things, and then quantified. If we did this, what would that mean to you? Don't know where I've got it later. This is the more advanced sales training, but hell, I'm going to give it to you anyway. I've got the time, DNQC. Tattoo this on the back of your eyelids. Seriously. And again, we're doing it in the training that Deb's in. This week is what we're really covering here. Most people will just give data, some information. Here's all about me. Here's why you should work with me. Here's my offer. You've probably seen that before. Not that anybody does it here, but you've seen that before. You've probably been taught to do it. So that gives some information, and most people will give some more information, some more information. Then turn it into a story. And we've got 5 different stories, 5 different types of stories that you learn and use. Very simple, very easy. A 90-second story. Have you ever seen me through here tell a story about somebody who's got some results? All the way through, I will give you some information and then we turn it into a story. We remember stories. We don't remember a shopping list. I'm shocking. It could be written down. I'll still miss pieces on it, but I don't remember the shopping list, but I remember a story. So data and narrative, and you've all got some great stories, but in that narrative, there's ways to do it. And then you take that and you quantify the results that they got, and then quantify the results that these people could get, like this person here. If we did that for you, they actually said, yeah, well, that'll mean an extra $4,000 a month, and then confirm. Is that important to you? Is that something you want to work on right now? Yes, no, yes, great. So when you do that as a part of your general sales conversation, and it is just a sales conversation, that whole thing there should take no more than 2 minutes. The narrative, the quantify, confirm. And we did this all the way through. Their packaging needed a little bit of work. So we looked on that and we determined that by changing the packaging, they would get increased retention, they would get better results. get more referrals, and their revenue would go up. By the way, when you have clarity, when you have a blueprint, when you have a system, networking and referrals go through the roof. And we talk about this in the program. What are people saying about you and how are they talking about you? If they say you are a good whatever, then people can say, well, yeah, great. Mary said they know a good whatever. It makes a massive difference. I'm going to share with you a couple of examples very, very shortly. So all of this went up because we changed the packaging. The blueprint, here's some emotive values. Remember I said financial and emotive? Emotive value was saving time, reducing stress. That was important to them. We ticked a few boxes here. We got to the end, having the blueprint. They said, well, that's going to increase my conversion rates. It's going to cut my time down. I'm going to have more enjoyment. And we worked out, remember we talked about agreed implementable value. It's now sitting in front of them. So when we were talking about it back then, I said, I'm going to share with you how you can bring it forward and reduce, if not eliminate, objections. This is how we've done it. And what we've got here, I can see, I don't want to touch my screen. Who's sitting there with their puppy dog? I can't quite see. Anyway, Vanessa, you've been interacting with me. Fantastic. So Vanessa, from what you've said, and by the look of these numbers here, it looks as if we're going to increase your business and you're going to be able to generate an additional 24,000 per month. That's an extra 72,000 over the next 3 months. Quick question. Should we get started on this sooner rather than later?
Yes, please.
So would you feel pushy? Put a P or no. Would you feel pushy saying this and learning this, or no, I won't feel pushy at all? I'd be very interested if there's a P. But anyhow, so that's the system all wrapped up in one. They've come to you knowing your positioning. You've spoken about what it is that you do and the results they get. You start having the conversation on collaborating on how you can create that implementable value. You haven't started talking about box value yet. You don't need to. By starting at 72, oops, I've always got pens that don't write neat. By starting at 72,000, they're probably going to get to here thinking, wow, this is fantastic. They can't possibly charge me more than this. And quite often when we get to around here, they'll say, this is great. How do we get started? By coming down from 72, all you've got to charge is less than 71 and they're in profit. So they're going to say, well, this is great value. Your box value is much lower than this. How do we work together? And that's the way that you can do it. And I'm going to share with you a couple of people and their blueprints and how they've done it. Any questions on this so far? I want to stop. I want to get some feedback on this concept of having the conversation, because when you learn several other parts to it and learn how to do it as a natural part of your conversation, it makes a massive difference into your stress levels, your enjoyment levels, and your conversion rates. Any questions? I'll have a quick water. Talia, beautiful. Yep, please.
This blueprint that you have here, is it sort of a fill in the blanks, and you fill in the blanks with each person that you talk to, rather than a system that is already all put on the page?
That's a brilliant question. Thank you.
Good, because it didn't feel like it was very clear when I said it.
No. It's because I know exactly what you're asking. And your blueprint is not to explain everything that you do, because not everybody wants everything. There might be somebody walking through the door that really needed packaging in their blueprint and not so much their positioning. In this one here, they may not have needed videos and books, but they wanted their positioning and what. what we do with you is we help you create a blueprint that is a coat hanger for the results that you deliver people. It's a coat hanger for the conversations that you have with people to allow you to go pretty well in any direction. And what we do, and we've actually did it last week in the training, is what is the pre-blueprint chat that you have before you pull this out? What are the questions that you ask to determine what stops you make along the way? You create the blueprint to allow the flexibility, but most importantly, to let them know that you have a system to deliver the results. So the look and the feel of it is, wow, you've got a system for my results. But the end look and feel is the compilation of the results that you will deliver. And that's the magic of being able to use the blueprint, not just create the blueprint. Has that answered your question?
I think so.
Yeah. So you
I'm
don't.
a little fuzzy on it, but I'll keep thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you asking, Talia, is it a template that you just fill in? Is that the question?
Kind of. I guess when I think of a system, I think the person starts here, and we go through this process and that process and the other process. It gets them this, the result, that result, and the other result, and then this is where you end up. What I'm wondering is, do you have all? I mean, it sounds like, okay. When you first said blueprint, I was expecting all of that to be laid out and looking pretty, and then you hand it to someone and say, look, here's my system. But with this image, it looks more like you have just a very rough outline, and you sort of fill it in as you go while you're talking to them, and you.
Okay, perfect. You can have your highly detailed schematic, which they don't have to know that you've got that. They know that you've got it, but you don't have to go through absolutely step by step. Week one we do this, and the day after this we do this, and for the next 52 weeks I'm going to take you through all the 52 weeks before you make a buying decision. They don't have to be totally educated on how you do it. They just need to know that you've got a system that you can do it. Now, your client conversion blueprint is the collaborative tool that allows you the flexibility in the conversation to virtually talk to anybody. The schematic and system that you've got is basically the tool that you work through after they've started working with you.
Okay.
So you can have both, and quite often you do have both. This is very roughly the flow that I work with people on, but everybody's different. When they're going through a one-on-one program, they may need different things. And we've got so many other things that we do that are not here. All we're talking about is, what are their pains? How can we solve them? And what is the value of the outcome of working together, so they can see the end result here. And they've got to that point themselves, because these are their numbers and you've collaborated with them. And they'll say, wow, yes, this outcome is way more than the value that I'm going to pay for it. That's the purpose of this blueprint, more than this is how we deliver our training.
Okay.
That's a great question. Thank you. So this blueprint here is a guy who was a business coach, pretty well brown box. So he doesn't have a flow. He has, we work together and I help you with your plan, your productivity and your performance, and this whole thing. The interesting thing, he came, we listened and said, what do you do different to other business coaches? He's also bought a franchise in business coaching. He said, well, what I do is this, and most importantly, I help them keep on track. So that keep on track twigged, compass. So within his, we developed the business growth compass, standing out from as a business coach to the business growth compass. Your partner in, I'm not a business coach, I'm your partner in thinking differently, implementing, achieving more. The interesting thing with Paul, he basically said, hey, Steve, I've gone from using 20 sheets and overcomplicating it to just using the blueprint and collaborating and getting great results. So he has people pretty well signed up. This lady here, obviously health, fitness, wellness, lifestyle. She was, or she still is, a very successful one now. She is a physio. And she said, Steve, my physios hate selling. They started at 2.4 appointments per person, because they just said, oh, look, see how that goes and come back if you're not feeling any better. And I had some chats with them, and they were not going to sell. So we created the system that we knew was going to deliver better results and better communication. And again, we called it the 3D pain reduction program, because and I've been to so many different physios and treatment professionals as a professional athlete, and I would self-diagnose way before I should have stopped treatments, and because I knew better. And the appointments, the extra appointments in my mind was only paying off their Porsche. That was it. It's like, if you're selling appointments to me and I feel better, these next ones are just to help you pay off your Porsche. So we created this and said, well, hey, listen, and we talked to the people. We have a we've got a 3-dimensional pain reduction program. The first part is all about reducing your pain where you start feeling better. The next one, most importantly, we're going to look at cause correction. So we can get rid of what may be causing the issues. But most importantly, we're going to be looking at the prevention. The last thing that we want to see you back here in 6 months' time in twice as much pain, paying twice as much money. And the physios, the treating professionals said, well, that makes sense. They should be doing this. Now we have something to show people and not just sell appointments. We have a plan to make them better, and they jumped to 7.8 appointments per person. Now that's a 3x in cash flow, triple appointment rates per person, and it didn't cost them an extra cent, just better communicated what they did. And here's the kicker. So if somebody has an injury and somebody will say, oh, you need to go to so-and-so, they're a good physio, nearly everybody will know a good physio, whereas they doubled their referrals because they had a complete 3D back care program, a 3D pain relief program. So they went from an A to a D and doubled referrals. And that's amazing by just doing that. It didn't cost them an extra cent in referrals whatsoever in any advertising. So have I pulled it all together for you now? The first part was all about you being the prize. The second part is all about building your buying energy. And the third part is how you can have those conversations so you feel good, they feel good, and they actually do get to work with you. So what we're going to do now is go through very, very quickly. There are 3 ways people work. There's hard work, and I'm sure most of you are doing that. There's guesswork, not really sure, but you're just guessing what you're doing right now, and quite often that causes the hard work. And then there's a proven framework that has worked for other people, and it shortcuts the way that you can actually get the results that you want right now. And this proven framework that we've worked, everybody that you have seen on the screen today has gone through at least one version of what we've got in the blueprint conversion system, the virtual selling blueprint, the fast client enrollment system. It's all about those 3 parts that we've gone through right now. Before we go into how we can fast track all of that, one quick set of aha moments on using your blueprint. How many? The first question is, type in a B if you believe a blueprint would be of value to you and your business. Just type in a B if you think a blueprint would be of value to you and your business. Awesome. We've got a few bees flying through here. Actually, they're flying through fairly quickly. Excellent. Okay, now you've done that. And you can either type in or take yourself off mute. And what's the biggest ahas, benefits, takeaways that you've got about using a blueprint to create your, to create your sales bliss? Framework, boom, yeah. Having a framework instead of tacky sales scripts, I think that's a big boom. Collaborate, not educate. Yeah, we got on our blueprint, we call it collaborate, not convince. Got a structure for less stress. Hell, if I could take the stress out of your selling, life's going to be so much better for you. Collaborative page 10, Lee, beautiful. Okay, let's keep rocking on through. You've actually started writing those down. They're the bankable takeaways. If we had time, we were sitting down with you, we'd actually calculate, what would one, here's a thought. On your own bit of paper somewhere, calculate what one extra client per month, one extra referral per month, and probably one extra from networking per month that you would get. What would that mean to you in dollars and cents on a monthly basis, month in, month out? Because you've seen what this has done for other people, and they're no different to you. Geez. Odette came to me and I thought she was going to be the first person I couldn't help. She said, Steve, we're moving from the 4th to the 5th dimension. I exist on the 13th dimension. People come to me with their issues. I go out there and I solve their problems. Yet we applied this exact same system to her. And as you saw, we doubled her income and she was working 30% less hours. And all we did was created new positioning that had clarity, packaging that had clarity. And yes, she did end up with her blueprint that helped her with all of that. So if it could work for her, it could basically work for anything. Dinah, that would double your monthly income, keep you from over-educating your clients, focusing on the so that's. Beautiful, Nusha. There are so many pieces. Well, I really do appreciate that. That's great that we've got. So in the next 10 minutes, and we'll open up for some Q&A, I'm going to share with you how I currently work with people, basically the exact program that Deb has come and joined with us, and how we can fast track your results and fast track taking the stress away. And that's the biggest thing. But most importantly, because you guys are there, how you could use what you're already good at to start delivering some damn awesome results. Okay, 3 questions. Actually, the first question, type in a why. Do you believe you're good at what you do and you actually get results for your people? Because if we don't get a why there, I'm not going to go forward. If you don't believe that you get good results for your people and are good at what you do, then the next bit just doesn't matter. It's not going to work. 100%, you're 100%. Fantastic. Love the 100%. Okay. If you've already had at least 3 clients get great results with you, you're going to be doing fantastic with this. 3 questions. Do you want more clients? Will this work for you? Most of you have answered that. And would you like a hand fast tracking it? Because we can fast track it. And I'm not going to see all of you. And I'm going to do my aerobic hands because I'm mirroring you. Put your left hand up if you like doing things the hard way. Put your right hand up if you like doing things the easy way. Put both hands up if you say you like doing things the easy way, but end up doing things the hard way. Give me jazz hands. And yeah, we say we like doing it the easy way. I'm going to lay out the step-by-step way that we can work together to really smash the results that you're going to get. And it's going to be so much fun. very, very quickly, this lady here is still in the group. And this is the blueprint that she recently created. However, I've known her, almost like Deb, I've known her for 4 years. When I was living on the Gold Coast, she used to come to some of the live events, and she used to come to, basically, she's been to most of my free training. And she's just 4 weeks ago, she started, Steve, I've been doing your free sessions for 3 years and didn't really implement anything. After the first week with my new position, I signed up 3 brand new clients immediately. I'm kicking myself. I waited. Thanks for your kick in the bum. Looking back at what she did, she was calling herself a virtual assistant. She actually worked with businesses to uncover and then help them as a virtual assistant implement systems. Within the first week, we switched her from being a virtual assistant to a business growth systems specialist. She helped people implement business growth systems. She signed up those 3. She signed up another 5 the next week and then doubled her prices because she could. She was virtually full. So the interesting thing is sitting on the sideline and coming for 3.5 years looking at free events, didn't really implement too much. Deb, if I can take you off mute, you're not exactly the same as her, but you've seen what I've done with lots of other people that you've referred to me. And thank you so much for that. I've been blessed to be able to help them.
I know. I kind of wish I do wish I hired you ages ago. It was the other, whenever it was, I did go, oh my gosh, okay, I'm in. I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? But anyway.
One of the things that
because I have seen you help so many people. Like I really appreciate your mastery, and I love the approach is so fresh and aligned for me, and not being pushy and doing it in a way where I'm the prize, and I'm just so excited to be doing it. And also many on the call will also know Crystal Hill and Elizabeth Wallace, who are doing it as well. It's just awesome. So yeah. I'm excited to like, yeah, go like it. I feel like it's about to just take off.
Yeah, and one of the things that you see sitting on the sideline is the what and a little bit of the how. What you get as a part of the group when we're actually doing the masterminding and the hot seating is asking harder questions. The deeper, the peeling back of several layers of the onion ring that you don't get sitting on the sideline, where I actually ask you where and what, and then we get to the point. One of the guys that's in the same group as you, we started doing that. We started asking the questions, and he typed a really long message in the group and said, Steve, I feel as if I'm going back. I feel as if I'm doing this and this and this. And we asked some more questions, and then he said, I've got it. Within a week, he had his blueprint created. He's got the whole system all sorted out. But again, you don't get that from watching the videos and sitting on the sideline. It is from being a part of the group. And
well, I do think also, Steve, I love hearing you admit that you're actually intuitive, because I know you don't do that in a lot of groups, but in this one, it's safe to do that. Yeah. And you actually have a real mastery of taking what people are doing and actually helping them find the words that they need, which we just don't come up with by ourselves. So there is it's just really great to work with you. So,
and to be honest, I'm crap at doing it for myself. I'm good, but I have somebody that kicks my butt and makes me throw the mirror at me and have a look at things and think, oh, shite. Why didn't I think of that? Because I do it for other people. So, and thank you for your comments. And it's great. And I'm looking forward to working with a handful or a lot of you people over the next X number of weeks, which will probably, and I got something special for you that will potentially be longer. Anyhow, I'm not going to spoil the party right now. So here's how virtually the rest of the people, I put together the More Clients, Faster Sales Fast Track. It's the fast client enrollment system. What you will get is virtually what we've just gone through. You're going to have the clarity on who you are as the authority, the confidence in yourself and the frameworks, which some of you have said, cool, best thing. the complete system. You don't have to be the hot shot. The system is actually going to allow you to be more of you. I'm not going to go down the route of saying authentic sales because it's totally overused, but it allows you to be more of you and create your own damn sales bliss. It's a great place to be. How many, type in an E if you only want to have a conversation with educated, excited people, because it's a bloody good place to be. By the time they get to you, they're educated and they're excited, and then you're excited to talk to them. Understand how your clients want to buy. Have your client conversion blueprint. We talked about it. Thank you, Talia, about the difference of your client conversion, and know how to create your own sales bliss. If that's on your shopping list, stay tuned, because we're going to deliver it, because this is what you walk away with. And that's what we teach you to talk about. What are the people going to walk away with when they work with you? This is what you're going to walk away with by coming and spending more time in the actual program. Here's how we've put it together. It's very simply, I've pulled it back to the bare bones to focus on what you need and no fluff, no distractions. The actual Change the Game program is what my highest level clients get when we go through the authority unpack. You get it as a part of it, because it's crucial for you to be able to unpack your authority and bring it to the table. The Blueprint Conversion System 3.0 is the latest, but it is the program that everyone that you have seen on the screen today has gone through. It's the proven framework that is updated all the time on how to get the results that they have got. And he said, they're nothing special. All they've done is the program, but most importantly, implemented it, because that's what you're coming for. You're getting the education, but you're getting the implementation. And that's how we do that, the group mentoring. There will always be less than 20 in the groups. I rotate them every 8 weeks. I never put more than 20 in the group. And generally, because of time zones and people with things on, you normally have, as Deb, you'll attest to, no more than a dozen people where we actually get to answer your questions, go through some advanced training, and be able to hot seat you to be able to get the results. So basically, the Blueprint Conversion System, again, it's exactly what you'll see. Create your unique authority positioning. We work through that, and that's going to be your week 1. Your week 2 that we go through practically together is create your high value programs. Depending on how much pre-time, we may pull them together and work on them together, your packaging and programs, so you get clarity around them early. Design your blueprint, and then most importantly, we have time to be able to make sure you can have the right conversations with your actual blueprint. Yes, you walk away with being comfortable in selling. I do have to tell you what's in the box. It's not as if I don't avoid talking about the box, but here's what's in the box and the book value that you're actually going to get. So the online training, you can do it anytime leading up to it. You can do it anytime later. You've got unlimited access to all of this. The Blueprint Conversion System and the Change the Game program is valued at that, okay? When you look at what it delivers, and we've created multiple 7-figure businesses just out of the hot seats in the rooms, it's phenomenal. The 6-week initial personalized mentoring, the total box, the retail value of this is around $6,000. Okay, you know, and I know that because of my relationship with Deb, and this is my give back. Thank you, Deb, for introducing me into that one room, that one networking event that I did get up 3 mornings in a row for 2 a.m. But that one introduction started off a 6-figure business. So I had to do something valuable for your people. Okay, I put this together and I said, with crystals, this is the last time ever. I've stretched it and added some more just because of you and your people. So if you're thinking of sitting on the fence, it's going away. And this is just because of Deb. For those of you who are in America, you can rub your hands together, lick your lips on charging in Australian pesos. It's just $997. If it's easier, you can have a very simple payment plan of 555 AUD. And that's going to get you started. Generally, what will happen is you've already made that money back before the second payment comes out. Now, there's going to be a link, and I'm going to put them in the chat very quickly, that you can actually go and get this right now. And I've done everything right. I'm going to copy and paste that in there. They're going in right now. So you can actually jump through, you can copy down the link, you can click on the link that's in there, or you can, if you're advanced, use the QR code to jump in and get that right now. Now, here's the extra little bit that is super, super valuable. For those of you who are coming to join us, and I've got to go back to Zoom. The 6-week personalized mentoring will start in 2 weeks' time. And I'm probably going to, if you want me to, if you ask nicely, I'm going to do a bonus session on the 6-figure networking system before we get started. Would anybody like for me to walk you through the 6-figure networking system, how you can get into room, how you can get into breakup groups, etc.? Because I'll do that as an extra as well, just to get through those next bit. But coming to join us now, you actually will be given the 12-month gold pass. Now, I know at times life will get in the way. You may get started in a couple of weeks' time and get caught up, or you may not finish over the next 6 weeks. You can come back at any time and do any of the repeat courses whenever. Deb, you will know that there are people that are coming back to do this that have been in previous. It may have taken them a little longer. There may have been some breaks that they had to have. Then this is absolute gold. Coming back and actually doing the whole program and staying with us, joining the groups either week after week, have a break and come back. But the goal of this is no one gets left behind. It's almost like the American Navy SEALs. No one gets left behind. And that's the goal of this program, is you get in, you can do the theory, but most importantly, show up to the mentoring sessions, be a part of the group and get that group support. So that's going to be all a part of this as well. Now, to make it even easier, there may be some of you that have got just a couple of questions before you push the button. And I appreciate that. This has been a lot thrown at you. And you might think, well, will it work for me? You've seen a variety of people that it has worked for, that it will work for. You may just have those questions. If all you do today is actually use the link that's in the chat, book a call, then you can get all of that as well. You get the 12-month gold pass, get the advanced extra training on the 6-figure networking system. That, by the way, is probably worth the whole fee of turning up for. And you get all of the training and the program and the group mentoring.